All right. Cruising down the street in my 6'4".
Hey, that was dope, eh?
Welcome to a new edition of the Weekly Update. I'm Robert Burke with my co-anchor,
Anna Schoenfeld.
and we have a full week of spring sports to report on. Boys varsity volleyball had a very fruitful week. In league play, they were undefeated. They beat Manhattan Center for Science and Math in straight sets, and then in 3 sets, they beat Washington Irving. Over the weekend, they came in second place in the Francis Lewis tournament, losing to Chaminade, the best team in Long Island, in the finals in a thriller. Senior Adrian Amador had a great week and is featured in our senior profile. Get her in the zone.
This week, girls fencing killed it with 2 wins over FDA and Bronx Science. Also, at the Invitational Foil Championships, Karen Chen, our athlete of the week, got silver.
Girls varsity badminton started off the season strong. They won both of their games, the first against thAAnks campus, and the second, they won 4-1 against Bronx Science, who is supposedly their biggest competition. But honestly, the way I see it, they're going to go straight for that undefeated record.
Boys varsity lacrosse was dominant this past week.
In their first game of the week against James Madison, they won with the score of 16-4. In their second against Cardozo, they won 16-2.
Senior Jeffers Guthrie leads the team with 13 goals in 4 games.
Boys tennis played very well in their first match of the season, but lost to Stuyvesant.
Girls varsity lacrosse had 3 games this past week. First, we lost in overtime in a thriller against our rival Curtis High School. Then we followed that up with a blowout win over Midwood, and then lost to John Adams on Friday. But we're ready to turn it around this week with 3 games.
Co-ed varsity golf had a very good week of practice and are leading up to this week where they have their first matches of the season. They'll be playing Bronx Science, who's one of their biggest rivals.
Girls varsity softball Mercy George Washington this past week by the score of 14-4 behind great pitching from sophomore Jillian Freed. Senior Kira Whitelaw
Had 2 hits and 3 runs.
Woo! Girls varsity wrestling had their match canceled this past weekend.
But are ready to start the season this upcoming week.
Girls varsity ultimate is ready to start the season on Tuesday with their first game against Brooklyn Latin.
And boys varsity ultimate had their first game this past week against Bronx Science. They also scored 12-9, but showed great effort and resilience to fight through the fact that Bronx Science has a much bigger team. Boys varsity baseball lost their series against AP Randolph this past week, but on Friday it was a very close game. The score is 5-3. Senior captain Liam Edwards-Garrity pitched 5 2/3 innings and struck out 13 batters. Happy MLB opening day.
Go Rangers! Woo!
Better than I was the last time, baby.
We back.